Well, hi, everybody. This is Chris O'Connor, and I want to introduce a new series for all of the DEEMS family, all of our DEEMS customers, and we're going to introduce a series of different customers and people. They're going to tell us about their experiences and how they're using the DEEMS device so that we're all learning together. And today is going to be Ramon. And Ramon, tell us your story.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ramon Simpson. I grew up in the Netherlands, but have been living in Australia for the last 12 years and call it my home. I first got into seeing the DEEMS device when I was watching a show from Elena Danaan, and she was very much appreciative and positive about what Chris had done with the DEEMS device. I already had years of problems with my knees. It's all started in 2017 when I was driving on my scooter through the city and was hit by a car. From that moment on, I always had problems with my, especially my right knee. And since I started moving more on my left knee to compensate for it, my left knee started to play up as well. So every time I would exercise a lot or have to walk downhill, especially then, I would have problems with inflammation in the knees. For years, I went to physiotherapists a lot, only helped a little bit. And as soon as you stop doing the exercise, it just came back again. So I kind of had resigned to the fact that I would probably have problems with my knees for the rest of my life. And when I saw this DEEMS device, I was like, you know what? This feels good. I'm just gonna give it a try. It was actually quite interesting because I was probably one of the first people to buy it, and that was during COVID. And it was at that time it was quite hard to get mail sent from the US to Australia.
Yes.
But we managed to get it done. There was this only one option that you could do in order to get it, and it worked. Yeah, I was so happy when I got it. I prayed every day, oh, please, let the mail gods work in our favor. And it worked. Yeah. So I started using it. And I first started to use the side where it had the dot. Yeah. So I think that is when you take things out, right? Not put the vortex moves out, not in.
It's the vortex is coming toward you if you have the dots toward you. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So I tried that first, and I was like, well, let's see what happens. I have no idea. This was the first time I ever tried anything on this. So let's do something. So the first day I tried it on my knees. So I actually made it touch my knees. Somehow I felt more comfortable than keeping a distance. I made sure that my knees are, I don't have the pants are not on my knees. So I just roll up my pants and use it on my knees. And I used them. I was like, this feels like, the feeling is hard to describe. It's not something I've ever felt before. It's like pleasant, low level energy. And I was like, that's interesting. And it seemed to grow stronger in areas where I had most problems. Left it like that, went to bed. And the next morning I wake up, and my knees are stiff. Like, whoa, what's going on here? But it felt like they were actually healing for the first time in God knows how many years. So I was like, okay, something is clearly happening. So we have to keep this up. Then I noticed that, hey, when I turn it around, I use the other side, it actually improves even more. So from that moment on, for the next couple of months, I started doing that. Constantly in a circular motion over both my knees, left and right, doing it. And I remember the first time when I really found out that I really noticed a lot of difference. When I was just walking or running through the park, and usually when I would run down hills, I would always feel a sting, especially in my right knee. And I remember jogging, getting at the bottom of the hill without pain. I was like, what just happened? I haven't experienced this in years. So I started paying more attention to this. Yeah, I started paying more attention to this. And it was really working. And I can tell you right now, yesterday I had a run. And I now even sometimes forget to actually use the DEEMS device because it's just completely gone. For 4 years, I had trouble. I started using your device, and after 4 months, it's basically 4 months, it's just gone. It's incredible.
Wow.
Incredible.
That's something.
Yeah, absolutely. So I hope that it can also be used for other, I think it can be used for other purposes, but like you said, we're all learning. I know that my brother in the Netherlands, he has a problem with tinnitus. So I'm not sure if people already have tried that before, but I'm definitely going to watch your shows and your website and YouTube channel a lot. Let's see if someone else has tried that as well. So I was wondering if it could help him as well as it helped me. That would be great.
Yeah, I would initially think that it probably would, if provided it's a systemic sort of issue based in something physical. Even it should kind of break things up on an energy level, and then
Right.
allow his body to heal it and repair itself, which is all the device really does, is provide our body with a lot of extra energy that we're so starving in our society right now, because we're not going barefoot, so we're not grounding ourselves to the earth, and we're not getting that energy that our bodies really need, and that just to heal themselves. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, by the way, before I forget that, the reason that I also knew it was really doing something for me, because in the last 2 or 3 years I started meditating more, and at one point my chakra actually opened, and I noticed that every time I use it, my chakra opens. It goes straight to my head. So I was like, and I'm not making this up. I was like, what's the first time I had no idea what was going on. I must imagine it. I mustn't be imagining things. But then I saw the video that you made at the Conscious Life Expo. Was that it?
Yes.
Yes, and you said exactly that. I was like, there you go. That must be what I'm feeling. It's incredible. So that actually was an extra proof for me that it's definitely doing what it's supposed to be doing. And then I wasn't making this up at all. It's incredible. It's really incredible.
Yeah. In fact, we have recently been working with, we call them aura photographers, but really it's called Kirlian photography. You can photograph, So we actually, we started doing that, and on kind of remotely. Mm-hmm. And so we have, we're gonna do another, not an auction, a convention, in October. And we're going to be there, and we're going to have a photographer there in Orlando, at the spiritual, and I'm going totally brain dead anyway. Danny Henderson.
Yeah, I know her.
Yeah. So we're going to have the devices there. We're going to have Reiki healers, and so you can try the device out. So if nobody's ever tried it, but then we'll also have these photographers there that, kind of before and after using the device, you can see how it lines your chakras. And then once our chakras are aligned, then the energy flows better, and then our body can heal. It's just like we have these blockages, and, so this is really what it does, it doesn't physically heal you, but it lets your body do it.
That's right. Yeah. I think that's the ultimate way of healing. Because we have beautiful bodies. God gave us beautiful bodies. They can heal themselves, but we just have to help them. We just have to help our bodies. Yeah.
Absolutely. So what kind of, in your experience and what you went through, what advice would you give people, that have, because a lot of people have, like joint pain, especially knees and elbows and stuff. What would you give advice wise, having had your experience?
Yeah, well, just don't be afraid to try things, because from my point of view, the fact that I also work on my spiritual self probably also had an extra effect on my healing process. And you also see some kind of flywheel effect, that as soon as you start getting less and less pain, you start to do more and more with your body, making it stronger as well. So it's a combination of working on your spirit, using the DEEMS device, and also doing your exercises in order to get away from all that joint pain. And yeah, it's all holistic. And what the DEEMS device really does is help you get there. So it's the DEEMS device basically triggered my healing, and then it's up to you to pick that up and make it even better. Yeah.
Well said. Now, how often were you using it? I think you said every day.
Yeah. So depending on how much pain I had, that would be a trigger for me to use it again. But it's especially in the beginning, whenever I would watch a TV or a series, or I would be sitting for 30 minutes or so, I just grabbed the thing, and while watching TV, I would just use it. Of course, my chakra would open again. And but that would be the best. That would be the best way, because you're sitting, you're relaxed anyway, so you're in a relaxed state of mind. And you don't plan on getting up anytime soon, so you might as well, when you're sitting, use it. And yeah, that was the best way for me to do it.
That's a really good description. I'm glad you said that, because I've seen the device as being a passive device. Like I believe in acupuncture, acupressure, and like chiropractic. I do believe in those, but they're not passive. It forces the body physically into change.
Yeah.
And if you work on your body on an energy level, then your body can change itself in the way it knows best, you know, which isn't always the way we're trying to force it into, because we're all built differently.
That's correct.
You know, and like you said, our spiritual level, and then what work we're putting into our body is the work that comes back out as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, and so that's really important, you know, to understand that balance that we should have in our life.
Yeah, and that's a very good point that you make, because I feel that the DEEMS device brought my body just more back into balance with regards to my knees. They needed a trigger and a conductor, basically, to basically say, hey, now we have something that we can work with, and then it's up to you to put the extra in through self-work. Yeah, and it can be spiritual or physical or whatever, but you will notice that as soon as the pain goes away, you get more energy to do even more and to even more speed up your healing. That's how it worked for me.
Yeah.
In 4 months, I couldn't believe the results. As opposed to 4 years, nothing. I had given up. And oh yeah, and by the way, your listeners should also know about that. I had not done any physio anymore. I really have given up. I was just jogging with pain every day or every other day. And but as soon as I started using the DEEMS device, it's exactly like you said. When you have pain, use it, and it would then go away. And I would just measure how much I would need in order to remain pain-free. If I needed more, I would just do more. And now I actually have to remind myself to use it, because I'm mostly pain-free now. But I will keep doing it, because it's not just my knees that are benefiting, it's your entire body that's benefiting. It just keeps your body, you know, tuned right, which is really good.
Yeah, and it kind of aligns everything, you know. And so when things are in alignment, then, because I have quite a few customers that come to me and say, you know, when I first had the device, it was so powerful, I could feel the tingling, I could feel the warmth, you know, but then it started fading away, and now I don't feel it anymore. It's broken. What's wrong with it? I'm like, there's nothing wrong with it at all.
No. Yeah, I can relate to that. Yeah.
You are improving so it means you're coming into balance. You're raising your vibration now.
Yes.
And so you're in tune with your device.
Yes.
And it's just you're in maintenance mode right now, and long-term healing mode. You know.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up, because that's exactly how it went with me as well. In the beginning, you could really feel it moving over your body. By the way, if I keep it in front of my third eye, I can still feel energy coming close to my third eye. But I also noticed that the first time I had it, I could feel it when I would give it close to my hand. You could feel the energy close to my knees. You could feel the energy. But now the initial feeling is less, but the healing results, they are top notch. So exactly like you said, it's because you're more in tune with the device now. So you will start to know that although the initial effect seemed to be less, the effects of healing are way better, because you finally attuned to the right spiritual and energetic level now. It's incredible.
Yes. Yeah. Now
this thing actually heals.
You know, I try not to make a claim. I know it did for me, and that's all I can claim. But that's why we're here now, is for people like yourself to say, yeah, I mean, it's, you know, and for me, it's not about sales. It's about people understanding what this device is, you know, because yes, I want more. I want them all around the world, you know, and it's not because I want to make a bunch of money. It's because I know it will help heal the planet, you know, and it'll help heal humanity the more that are out there, because that's just how energy works. So that's my goal. You know? You know, so if you don't mind, just for, you know, a couple of minutes, just kind of describe the feeling that you got, you know, from the beginning. Like you touched on it, but if you go a little deeper, it would be.
Yeah, but every time I felt it, I was like, how do I describe this feeling? It's so hard to do. I would probably describe it as some kind of low-level electricity, but not like you would have when you put your finger in a plug in the wall. You know, that's not like that at all. It's exactly the opposite. No, and it's like it's in wave. It's really hard to describe, but it feels like it's really getting into the pain that requires the most attention. So if I would move it over my knees, I would feel that where my tendons would mostly hurt, that is where that feeling would come in the most. So that was already something like, aha. So it already feels, you know, where it needs to, the energy feels already where it needs to go. So I would describe it as some kind of low-level energy that is not invasive, but more like conducive. Is that probably the word? It helps. It's stimulating. It's stimulating energy. But like I said, I never had that kind of feeling before. So it's I don't have anything to reference it to.
Yeah, I mean, it is,
I do
because
my
you know
best.
what, basically what it is, if you have any kind of nerve experience, I think you have with your knees, where you have like, feels like electricity floating through your nerves. If like you have impact, you have shock.
Yeah.
It's the same energy, but but now instead of it being out of control, the device is gently giving it an even keel, giving it that energy to, instead of it being a shock from injury, it's just saying, let's move this energy along.
Yeah.
Let's move it along. And then as it moves along, this new energy comes into the body, and then that's the energy your body uses to heal.
Right.
You know, and so that's that feeling I'm sure you're feeling, which is kind of, with me, it's kind of tingly, you know, almost pins and needles, but not quite. You know, pins and needles can be kind of uncomfortable. This is more like exciting, like you got real excited, and that feeling on the back of your neck, that it's all tingly and exciting.
Right.
That mixed with a little bit of warmth is how I can best describe
Yeah,
it.
that too. Yes, thank you. That too. I forgot to mention that you also feel that it's a bit warmer. But in terms of, maybe I should say it is a mixture between electricity and magnetism, something like that. Because I felt it's flowing energy. So when people think about electricity, they think about shocks. In my case, it's not shocking. It's like a wavy energy, and it's not painful at all. It's just I always struggle to explain it to people because I have no reference. I'm like, what do you compare this with? But it's not unpleasant at all. It's very pleasant, actually. And for me, I try to look for that feeling in my knees, because as soon as it became strong, I said, that's the attention point. That's the point I have to focus on at the moment. And that was usually the right thing to do, because the next day then it would be completely gone. Yeah.
And you would do both sides depending on how it felt.
No, not anymore. No, I only do the side without the dot now, because I found, for me personally, that worked the quickest. That had for me the most effect.
You had to like draw out that and then kind of encourage the energy to flow through.
It seems like it. So I just tried both ends, and it seems to me that for me the side without the dot worked the best.
Yeah,
and it will probably be different
totally,
for every person. Yeah,
everybody's different, and sometimes you know, literally you can be doing it one way and then you just flip it over, and it's that way that you're.
Now it's time to do that one. Yeah. Maybe I should.
Yeah, you know, so that's why it's makes it hard for us to describe, is because we're all so different.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
And our body needs what it needs, and that's what all these videos are for, is to help us kind of guide all these different people, you know, and give everybody some reference point as to what's best for them. And so that's what makes, I'm so grateful that you joined me today for, you know, for
no, it's my pleasure. Don't worry about it. It's my pleasure.
You know, and definitely
I told Eliana that this is also the opportunity to thank you personally. So don't worry. It's I'm very much honored to from the bottom of my heart to thank you for this. But because, like I said, I resigned to the fact that my knees were going to hurt for the rest of my life, and this device just cures it in months. It's incredible. Yeah.
Well, that makes it all worthwhile. So thank you so much for I really appreciate that. You know, it's why I do what I do.
Very much appreciated.
Well, thank you again. We'll say goodbye for now, but definitely let's keep in touch. If you have anything else to say, please let me know. Okay.
Absolutely, Chris. Thank you very much. Keep doing what you're doing. Make everybody happy with your advice. And I'm sure a lot of people will be very happy when you start rolling this out across the world to everybody.
Well, thank you. We're working on that.
So, good. Excellent.
All right. Well, much love to you, my friend.
You too. You too.
Okay.
Cheers.
We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.